Hi guys! The digital tool that I'm reviewing today is called Prodigy Math, and it can be found at prodigygame.com. Basically what it is a game platform. Students play a game to practice math skills, and it is curriculum aligned and intended for grades 1 through 8. What I love about this is, well, first of all, it's just, in general, it's difficult to find math resources that allow you to differentiate as much as this one does. But what I really love about it, it is a free program. So everything I'm showing you today is completely free. There is a membership option, and I'll show you the prices for those. If you're paying monthly, it's $8.95 per child, or up to, if you're willing to commit to a year, $4.99 per month per child. But I will be honest and say I do not think that the membership is worth it. It essentially just makes more, it gives the kids like more accessories or prizes that they can buy in the game. It gives more game access to different game areas, but honestly what it gives you is sufficient, and being a member does not change any of the teacher reports or any of those things being able to assign to students. So like I said, everything I'm showing you today is completely the free version. I do not have a premium membership. So with that being said, I'm going to start by showing you the teacher side. I created a class just with my son. We were playing around with it to just be able to show you. But basically what it does, when you get students connected to your class, they connect with a class code. And what it does, it gives them a placement test to start with. Now I don't have data in this because I didn't have my son take the placement test. He took a couple questions, I think, but basically what it would do is give you baseline of where the students are starting, and then it would give them questions based on where they scored on that placement test. But you can also assign things specifically to students. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You can create assignments just based on whatever you want them to access. So you have several options. You can just choose to align them with a standard, so you would just choose a specific standard you want them to work towards, and it would give them whatever questions to work towards that. Now with that, it doesn't let you choose specifically what your questions will look like. It just assigns them randomly towards that standard. And then there's also the option of just test prep if you're getting ready for standardized testing. But the one that I really like is being able to quiz kids on a set of skills, because this allows you to differentiate a whole lot, and you can actually pull up the certain standards and then specific skills within the standards. So I use Common Core in my school and in Ohio, but if you're from another state, all the standards are there. You just find your state and it will align you. I am a 6th grade intervention specialist, so I was looking a lot through the 6th grade things, and actually one of the last topics that we did this school year is area, which is really challenging for a lot of kids because area in 6th grade gets complicated with a lot of crazy formulas. So if you have a student that's struggling, maybe you back them down to lower content, to build up their skills in that area. So maybe I would go to 4th grade measurement, and I can work on some like more prerequisite skills. So here maybe I would do just area of rectangles. So they could practice the base times height part first, and get really good at that. So this just gives me all sorts of different questions types. If I want to see what the questions will actually look like, I can hover over this eyeball and it will show me this is a multiple choice question. Maybe I want to do some area ones with a text box where they actually have to type in answers. Okay, so it just gives you a lot of different ways to see what specifically you'll be assigning to the student. So maybe I will choose a multiple choice and a text box one, and then I would go in, and then I would I can choose how many questions, like maybe I just do 5 and 5, or maybe this one, the text box, I want them to practice more, so I give them 10 or whatever. So I choose the number of questions I wanted to do, and then I could name my assignment. And then I could just choose, this is where the differentiation part comes in. I could choose maybe this student is the only one that's really struggling with the basics, so I can assign them this and then assign more on grade level stuff to other kids. So, and then I would just say next, and then it would let me schedule however I wanted. You know, I would choose my dates. So that's really a cool thing to be able to assign specific questions to kids. So then I wanted to show you also the report side of what it will show you then. Once kids have worked on one of your assignments, you can pull it up and it will show you each question that was given, the correct answer in green, and then it will show you, okay, yes, he got this one correct, that was the answer. But maybe you look at this and you see maybe he answered 35, so you could see that, oh, he was adding those together, so he didn't understand. So the reports they give are really good for just error analysis, or if you see that multiple kids are missing the same question, you know, maybe you go back to that. So that's one kind of report. And then there's so many reports I could get into, like showing you all day, but the other one I really like is the student comprehension report. So I can pull up a specific student, I could select my date range, I could customize it, or I could just say like last 30 days or whatever, and then it will show, here we go, it will show like what kind of content they've worked on. So I'm going to pull up, so looks like at this level, he's done these kinds of questions with 3D shapes, got 100% accuracy, addition to 1,000 was 100% accuracy. So here it looks like with rounding he struggled a little bit, so it shows he only answered 3 questions. It shows about how long they spent on each question too, so maybe that's a factor, but it just really gives good data to show you know, where kids are doing well, where they're struggling. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you on the teacher side is that there's a leaderboard that you can see. Some of the teachers that I heard about this from talked about doing like tournaments where they had their kids, you know, answering, you know, so many questions in a week, and then they kind of made it an incentive for like extra credit or things like that in their classroom, which I thought was really cool and motivating. You can choose, you know, how many questions did they answer today or this week, last week, whatever. So I thought that was a really cool feature as well. So now I'm going to show you the student side. And so I guess I want to first say that accessibility for this is really, you have a lot of options. It can be played either on a computer or a Chromebook with either a mouse, or if they're good at navigating the touchpad on the computer, that's an option. But also it can be downloaded on an Android or Apple product, any like iPad, a phone. It's very, very user friendly. And the nice thing about accessing it from an iPad is that it turns it into, you know, a touch screen thing. So it might be easier to navigate for kids with motor issues. So anyways, so it looks like a game. The kids, it's just really motivating for the kids because it's, you know, it's a fun game that they're playing. They're earning little prizes, but they basically navigate through, and then they run into obstacles that stop them and make them answer questions so that they can continue on or earn prizes or whatever. So so they would go in, and then here's the question. I'm going to unmute my site now because it plays some music. So okay, so here's the kind of here's an example question. I don't know why the icons aren't working, but this is usually a it's usually like a speaker picture or whatever, so it will read the question for me if I want it to.
What is the area of this shape?
Okay, so
A, 25 centimeters squared. B, 20 centimeters squared. C, 24 centimeters squared.
So that's just a good feature as far as accessibility goes, also for kids that might struggle to read this, especially like if you're assigning word problems that might need read. This is usually a question mark. I'm not sure, my icons aren't working, but if they're not sure how to find the area, this can pop up and give them a hint, and this can also be read to them.
To find the area, multiply the base and height. Area equals base multiplied by height.
So it just gives a lot of good good helps in there for accessing, you know, for kids that might struggle. Also on the side here are usually some tools. Sometimes there's a calculator that pops up. I think this one is like something with counters. Oh, there's a calculator. I'm not sure. The icons just aren't working for some reason. But so if they need it, there's a calculator available. And then, so I'm just gonna, let's see, base times height. I'm gonna just choose the wrong answer here to show you some of the feedback that it gives. So sometimes when there's answers that you type in, you can either use your mouse on these numbers, or you can type them in with your keyboard, or like I said, on an iPad you would be able to just touch the numbers. But anyways, after I choose an answer, it will tell me, oh, it was incorrect, change your answer and try again. So it gives me another option, or another chance to get it, and then there I got it. Okay, so it's just rewarding, just motivating for the kids. I'm gonna mute again so it's not so. But it's just it's fun. They can earn pets, and they can earn all sorts of kind of neat little things that are motivating for them to continue wanting to play. So I think that'll take me into another question. Okay, and like I said, when I didn't assign the text box things now, but sometimes when there's things to type, these are all available for choices. So anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this review. I find this tool to be a really great tool, and I can't wait to start using it more. Especially, I think it could be really helpful for aligning with IEP goals and letting kids play and work through problems that relate to their IEPs. So I hope you enjoyed this review and are able to use this in your classroom. Thanks.